With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhelped on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. This morning, Nebraska football made coordinators Mark Whipple and Bill Busch available to the media, as the Huskers' new defensive coordinator, Bill Busch, is making adjustments to improve consistency on the defensive side of the ball.
The first thing we worked on is how to get lined up fast and how to play as simple as we can. I'd love to play one defense. Everyone in the country would love to play one defense. And that's, hey, we play this and we do this, and that wraps it up for us. There's a lot more to it because there's so many situations like we talk about all the time. I use rooms in a house. I learned this from Coach Gruden. It's like, hey, first and second down, you're in the kitchen. Everything goes on in the kitchen. Third down, fourth, right, that's a living room. It's a little bit different type of deal like that. The attic, you don't use it much. That's goal line. There's all these different situations that come up. So we try to address things in different phases with them right there. But we are trying to do everything we can to be able to make it as simple as we can to make sure, hey, we get lined up and get our feet set and be able to go. We felt that there was some things that always can improve on communication as we scream at them all the time. And I say scream, we teach at them. The same thing in special teams is that communication breeds confidence. So if we have the right communication, we know we've made the right call. Our communication will breed confidence, and we'll build ourselves up from there.
We'll hear from both Coach Busch and Coach Whipple later in the hour. And Huskers fans, Huskers women's basketball wants you to know you are now able to build your own custom ticket package for the 2022-2023 season with the starting 5-pack on sale now. With the starting 5-pack, fans can get reserved seats for any 5 home games for just $60. Fans can select any of the Huskers' 16 home games to customize their personal ticket package. To purchase, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 800-8-BIG-RED. That's again 800-8-BIG-RED during business hours. In pro sports tonight, in the MLB, the Yankees and Blue Jays are about to get started. Aaron Judge chasing Roger Maris's home run record in the AL there. He's 1 shy of time, 2 shy of breaking, as they'll be up in Toronto in just a few moments. At 6:10, we'll see the Orioles take on the Red Sox. Also at 6:10, the Marlins will battle the Mets. At 6:40, the White Sox take on the Twins. At 6:40, the Phillies meet the Cubs. Another 6:40 game, it's the Cardinals battling the Brewers in Milwaukee. At 7:10, the Diamondbacks meet the Astros. At 8:38, it's the A's and Angels in Los Angeles. At 8:40, it's the Dodgers taking on the Padres. Also at 8:40, the Rangers meet the Mariners. And at 8:45, the Rockies take on the Giants. One final from earlier today, the Pirates beat the Reds 4-3 in 10 innings. And 3 games currently in action have the Rays and Guardians tied at 1 in the top of the 4th. The Royals and the Tigers, they're in the top of the 2nd, and the Tigers lead there 2-1 and scoreless. Just underway, the Braves and Nationals, big NL East implications on the line there for the Braves. They need to keep winning. And finally, in the NFL, LA Chargers star pass rusher Joey Bosa will head to the injured reserve, as he and many others on the Chargers are now going through a lot of injuries. Bosa, in particular, will have surgery to repair an injured groin, and he will miss a minimum of 4 games before being eligible to return. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhelped, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Snap back. Thompson has it. Now dancing with his feet, rolling out. Looking for a man downfield. Going to take off and try to run with it. Now he scrambles back the other way. Looking, steps, throws downfield. Has Isaiah Garcia Castaneda. Makes a catch. 45 of Northwestern to the 40. Weaves his way to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Bumped out of bounds. My goodness, what a play. Casey Thompson.
Side set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom. 8-7 Nebraska set 2 after winning the first by 2.
Snap back. They give it off to Grant, right side. He is in. Touchdown, Nebraska. And the Huskers have the lead back here in Ireland.
Pepperdine volleyball. Bumped over to the left. Aaron swings. Stuffed. Match point, Big Red. Keelan Orr. Kennedy Orr. 25-22. Nebraska wins it in 3.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for another show. So glad you're with us here tonight on Sports Night. We're going to be here for the full 2 hours. No coaches to get in the way. No Trev Alberts to get in the way. No, he never gets in the way. What a show. We talked about Herbie last night.
Blonde Herbie blew up Twitter last night.
It did.
I mean, that was, you would have thought of all the things to talk about, And all the things that were brought up on the show, it seemed like Blonde Herbie was the most popular topic.
Yes.
I knew it would too.
Yes. But, and that's what, even when he had talked about it before he had announced it, just the importance, we've heard him say over and over again, the importance of connecting with that agriculture background here in the state of Nebraska. And that's really, really important to Trev. And he's talked about that a lot. And so Herbie's going to look more like he did before. And, is the corn going to be in the pocket? I think that's a big question, too, is the corn.
We'll find out, I guess, whenever the drawings get released to the public a little bit. Hey, agriculture is a big part of this state. It's a big part of our nickname, the Cornhuskers. We've had athletic directors in the past that have wanted to run away from that. They felt like it hurt recruiting and all those things. I'm glad that we're wrapping our arms around that. That is our fan base. Those are the people that plunk down money to come to the Devaney Center to watch volleyball, or to Memorial Stadium to watch football, or to Pinnacle Bank to support our basketball programs. So support them back. Say that we know what you do is important. I'm glad he's doing that, and I know a lot of people were certainly excited about it.
Well, and there's been all the different Herbies on the different branding, and the branding that the football team used was the old Herbie.
Right.
So I don't think, in terms of recruiting, what sells recruits to come to Nebraska are those fans that come. They don't care that it's agriculture. They just love that rookie move there for me.
Andrew, quick call in.
That they don't care that it's, that you embrace that. They love that their fans are here for them. So, right. And I think they like the old Herbie. And I think the basketball team has even had old Herbie on some of the things that they've worn. And so I think they like it. The
other thing that Trev is trying to standardize is a lot of our athletic teams would use a different style of an end.
Yes.
And we need one end.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have baseball with a different end on the hat compared to basketball with maybe a skinny end. And I think that some coaches, I know I haven't been overly thrilled with that, but I agree with Trev. I think you need to have one brand, and that's what you run with across your athletic department. So I think that's good.
Absolutely. Yep, I agree.
And he announced the sellout. His streak continues. We've sold out the Indiana game for Saturday night. There was a lot in there. We covered a lot of things in there.
Yeah, you really did. I don't know how you got it all in that amount of time.
And there was stuff we didn't get in as well, but that happens most every week. He was pretty adamant, and I'm glad he talked about, if you want to see the 5-year strategic plan, you can go see it for yourself. It's posted on Huskers.com. And we had a staff meeting a week or so ago, and he brought that up as well in the staff meeting, saying, a lot of companies go and put together a strategic plan, and then a month later it's collecting dust somewhere. It doesn't get acted upon. He wants something tangible out there that people can go, hold your feet to the fire, go, well, you said you want to do this. Where is the progress being made in that particular area? And the other big thing that we touched on was what's going to happen with this place.
Yes, yep.
And it's going to be a huge project. And he quoted Ted Carter, who said it's going to be like trying to repair a plane while you're in the air with the plane, trying to get it done. It's going to be hard.
And those are words that we've heard Trev say a lot since he was hired, is accountability and transparency. And so, putting that out there to see what our plans are, and I appreciate that he comes on the show and it's, says things that we want to know. And of course, I know everybody wants to know who is your top candidate for the coaching search. And I think he has a list. I think he's absolutely truthful when he says he has a list, and he's exploring that list.
Yeah.
And is going to do all of his due diligence to make sure that he's got the right guy.
And he also wants to study these coaches for one more season.
Yes.
And there's 8-9 games left for a lot of these teams to play. And somebody who may be pretty high up on his list may not have a very good year, and maybe that drops him down the list. So, as I said last night on the program, we said it on Monday night. Folks, you got to be patient.
I know it's so hard. I know it's hard. But focus on this team this year and Mickey Joseph and these players. And, I've been asked a lot about that, and I've told a lot of people, I'm like, I understand that it's disappointing. They're disappointed, but I still stand by, and I've said this since the spring. I really like this group, and this group really likes each other. They love each other in that locker room, and it's been such a great group. It's been one of my favorite football teams that I've covered in my entire career, just with the personalities and how good of people they are and the things they do outside of football. And so get behind this team and support this team, and maybe this will help with the patience area of waiting for whoever Trev names as the next head coach.
Just get behind Mickey and the guys. That's what and with 4 home games left, 8 games left, there's still a lot that can be accomplished with this season, and hopefully it starts on a positive side on Saturday night with Indiana. Tim mentioned this. We will have a practice report for you. We've not heard from some of the coaches for the last couple of weeks because of all the turmoil leading up to Oklahoma, then the bye week. So today, a chance to hear from Mark Whipple and Bill Busch. We'll play you some highlights of both of that. Speaking of Bill Busch, he will be our coach on with us tomorrow night in our football radio hour. So looking forward. He's always a delight to talk to. Looking forward to spending an hour with him.
Yeah, I could listen to Bill Busch talk for hours. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So that'll be hour 2 tomorrow night for a little programming note for you there. But we'll hear some clips from what he said to the media today here in a little bit. Basketball practice has started. Both the Husker men and women have had practice sessions going on at the Hendricks Complex throughout the week. You had a chance yesterday to catch up with Wilhelm Breidenbach, whose first year here got cut way short, hurt early in the season, out for the rest of the year. Looks like he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, and I've gone on record and said I think maybe that injury hurt worse than Trey McGowan's did. I think just the matchup problems that he creates because he can stretch the floor because he can knock it down from the outside, but he's also a great rebounder. He's physical. He doesn't care. Whatever he needs to do in any given game, that's what he wants to do. And, Armand Gates, when he was here, I remember talking with him on one of the coaches' shows that he's probably the first guy on that team last year on that roster that Armand said that I would pick to go to battle with. I mean, he's just wants so badly to win for his team. And so I think they miss that competitive nature and just all the different things that he can bring to the court and the way he wants to be physical inside and stretch the floor with that outside shot. So, yeah, he's going to be a big piece to this team this year, and I'm excited that he's back.
We'll have that conversation for you in hour number 2. Also in hour 2, and a big weekend of Big Ten football. We'll go around the conference. I'm really interested in the Illinois-Wisconsin matchup. Brett Bielema is going back to Madison to coach a team against a team that he coached so successfully for quite a while in the Badgers. That matchup's got my attention. I think that could go either way.
Yes.
Saturday.
Yes.
And
how about Trev last night saying that record belongs in Lincoln?
It does,
the sellout.
for the volleyball.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? Where do you go? I mean, PBA is not big enough to get the record back.
But can you not add standing room?
You could.
I mean, we got to find out what the actual what is the most maximum capacity with the fire marshal. So can we call the fire marshal and see what is the max PBA? From there, then maybe you do it in. Hey, I've already had Memorial Stadium. It was texted in one night when I was hosting for JB, and he said that the wind would just not work with that.
That's the thing. You can't control Mother Nature. If it's a windy night or if you have thunderstorms, it's risky if you try to do it inside the stadium.
Yeah.
It would be.
Because, I mean, you think about the serves and all of that, it just...
Yeah, that's not a sport where... And the ball's not very heavy. It's a lot lighter than a basketball.
Yeah. And I understand you have beach volleyball, but the court is smaller, right?
It is smaller.
And so, I don't know.
I don't know. So, so we got a lot of big things headed your way tonight here on the program. Also, I need your breakdown of Waka Flocka Flame.
It's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
So we have a late sub for The Artist for opening night in 2 days at PBA, as ESTG has had a late conflict come up, couldn't come, and they were able to find another performer.
He was nominated for a BET award, so I guess that was a last minute change. And so here comes Waka Flocka Flame, and he's a guy that he had some big hits in 2010, 2012, and so some. Tim, apparently it was his jam in high school, and so there's a lot of people that know Waka Flocka. If you...
you will have a better chance, folks, of knowing this group than you would.
Will know a song from Waka Flocka Flame. I didn't know any songs from STG, I'm being honest. I had heard of the artist, but I didn't know any songs. But I know Waka Flocka Flame songs.
Okay.
And a lot of people do. And I think there's some bangers in his playlist that I think is going to bring down the PBA house.
Andrew's like, well, his first big hit was in 2010.
Yeah, but
that was
he's been
ancient times ago.
He's been playing it all day. He's excited about it. So
I have heard him ringing it out in there. It is exactly very, very true. So a late change it's not going to change any of the rest of the night. There is a change, though, that Fred Hoiberg talked about yesterday. The men are not going to scrimmage. They're just going to have a practice. The women are going to hold a scrimmage, but the men are not. Coach Hoiberg said he didn't feel like, he just thought it was just nothing but like a street ball game the last couple of years, and he wants something a little bit more structured.
Yeah, I mean, last year I remember because it was, throwing up dunks and, K-State pulling up from half court. And so I get it. I understand they wanted to put on a show, which I think that was kind of the plan is, hey, put on a show for the fans. But then I understand also wanting to get something accomplished too in front of a crowd with some new faces, with some players that you're bringing in that are playing together for the first time. And so maybe getting a chance to actually go through some things and get some things done with people watching will be beneficial for this team.
That'll be the first time, I think, for both the men and women to get inside PBA this year. I think they've done all their practices to this point at the Hendricks. So that's good to get into the building you're going to play games in here in about a month away. So that'll be a lot of fun.
I do. So, they had a 3-point contest last year, and so they're going to do it again this year.
Okay.
I need to find out I know CJ Wilcher, Ani Stewart. I hope it's okay for me to announce this. But
yeah, Shelly's got to be a part of it,
Let
right?
me see here. Let me see who's in it. Okay.
Andrew Dowdy.
Wilhelm, Casey, Jazz, Annika, Nyla Dillard. So, who you got?
How about Nyla Dillard has been here for a couple years and has hardly played because of various injuries and that type of thing. I think she's healthy now. That'd be great if she could be a contributor for that team.
I'm telling you, I've worked on a few videos where I've gone to watch practice, and she doesn't miss a whole lot from the outside. She's
a good athlete too.
She's going to be able to provide, that shooter from the outside. I think if she can, stay healthy and get on the floor, and so she can knock it down from the outside. So that I always like the 3-point contest.
I do too. Doors open at 6 Friday night. Women will scrimmage first, and then the men will come out and hold a practice session, and then we'll hand the mic over to Waka Flocka Flame for a little performance at PBA on Saturday.
I'm doing some microphone stuff too. Maybe they'll let me on stage.
There you go. Good. Yeah. It's going to be busy around Friday here because we've got Cornstalk, which is the big university homecoming festival, will be going on in the parking lot where we all park, and Andrew zips through on a scooter without his helmet on. That's going to be going on Friday. Hall of Fame ceremonies Friday afternoon with a lot of the class that we talked to during the summer. We'll be back on campus for that, and then you've got the basketball event. Volleyball's gone. They're out of town. They're back east. They'll be playing Rutgers on Friday night, so they're not here. And soccer, by the way, tomorrow night will be on BTN at 5 o'clock, I believe. They're going to start playing Purdue, so we wish them luck tomorrow night.
Purdue, are they good?
Not very good.
Okay.
This swing, Indiana, Purdue are two teams in the lower part of the league, so a chance for soccer team to keep going.
That'd be good for them.
If you love Big Ten volleyball, a lot of it on tonight. BTN's got a doubleheader tonight right now, Iowa, Indiana. FS1's got a Big Ten match, Ohio State and Michigan. So for those of you that love volleyball, a lot of action going on for the Big Ten tonight on that. All right, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. We're back with our practice report coming up next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. We finally got some access to some assistant coaches. Been a couple of weeks since we've heard from the coordinators, and we heard from the new defensive coordinator, Bill Busch, earlier today. It's time for our GoCurrency.com Husker football practice report. We will start with how did the conversation go when Coach Joseph approached Bill about taking over the defensive coordinator role. Here was his comments.
I said we felt there was a chance maybe to hear a different voice and a different look for us in that spot to try to get a little bit of momentum back for us. So it wasn't a real long conversation. Really, he asked me if I was capable to do that, but I was willing to do that, and I said absolutely. And so that was about all there was to the conversation. Really, it wasn't a real in-depth thing of tell me about this, how are you going to run this, tell me about your third down package, those things. So we've had to work through some things right there. So again, the biggest thing that we have going for myself and Coach Joseph is all the time together. And obviously, I knew him from when he was a player, so I've been friends with him for 30-some years, and then having a chance to work together in a really good environment. And like I said, so Coach Joseph has done a great job of making it 4th and 1 here, and we live 4th and 1 at LSU every day. So that helps us. So everything's very seamless and very natural for how I know how he wants things done. I know the tempo he wants, and if it's not like that, then it's not going to be cool breeze. It's get it fixed.
You kind of forget that Bill was walking around here breaking into stadiums when Mickey played. You kind of forget that. You think about their LSU connection, but you forget that Bill goes back to when Mickey was a player here.
But you think about that right there about, a lot of times head coaches, they want a defensive coordinator that you're on the same page, you speak the same language, and especially in a situation like this, they just know each other so well and have gone through this before, and so it's not an easy spot for Mickey Joseph to be in. So to have someone like Bill Busch that he can rely on in that spot is huge. I got to imagine it's got to be a big comfort and relief to have someone like Bill Busch that he can call on to help him through this.
No doubt, because of their long history together. There's not a history with him and Mark Whipple. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. Bill Busch last year, Jessica, was a defensive analyst, so he kind of watched and broke down some defensive tape. This year, obviously, he was the special teams coordinator. But he's familiar with the players on the team, and he was asked, you've watched this defense the first 4 games. What's going on? Why are the breakdowns been happening?
Simple. I wasn't in there. In the defensive room at that time for us right there. So I think there's usually a lot of things that go on with it. A lot comes on with the success of the offense. Or they have a big play? Are they lined up fast? Are they going fast? That's one of the things that comes up for us right there. How well are you getting? What's your plan to signal can come up in that area to be able to get that done, to have some idea, hey, this is going to happen fast to it. But I didn't really go backwards on that situation for us right there. I just know and it sounds great, but that's like day one, rule number 1. Feet set, communication set. Do our best thing we can to be able to get that done, and then get our best 11 on the field. There's a lot of competition for positions out there right now. So there's a lot of competition for positions right there. We'll try to, if you're ready to go for us right there, or if at some point in time we feel you haven't played up to where you need to be like that, then you've got to do something different with personnel also. We'll make that adjustment as we go.
That was a really good answer to that, because he doesn't want to throw Eric Chenander under the bus, and he wasn't probably a part of much of the defensive conversation this year because he was concentrating on special teams.
Right. Colton Feast said the other day in his press conference that, when they go back and watch film, that a lot of times on the big plays, it's one person that didn't do their job. And I've said that a lot on the radio broadcast. That's a big message that coaches have been saying to their players up and down the sideline. Do your job. I think too many times people get caught up in, a bad play, or, the offense caring about the defense upset about the offense, or not upset, but, just getting caught up in something other than just doing your job. And I think that's been a big message that we've heard since Mickey Joseph the last couple of weeks is, you got to go do your job. Take care of what you can take care of, and that will help fix a lot of things.
Bill alluded to young guys getting some shots. Mickey Joseph has talked about that. We're going to let some different guys get looks at this thing because what we were doing the first 4 games, particularly on defense, wasn't working. Here's Bill Busch talking about some young guys that might be getting some playing time in the secondary.
Yeah, we'll just play him. We'll see where that haul unfolds. There's been zero conversation. Hey, let's play him now, and if we get through 3, we'll talk about it right there. Right now, we're going to get our best 11 on the field, guys that can help us win, and we'll play that out down the road as it goes.
A little lead up into that, the question was kind of asked about, do you worry about burning a guy's red shirt now? And he's like, we haven't talked about that. We're going to play the best guys. And if you're good enough to play for the last 8 games of the season, we're going to play you right now.
Yeah, again, I think people are so, from the outside thinking towards the future. But this locker room, this team is, hey, we got a lot to play for this year. So we're not done with this year. We're not throwing the towel in. Let's go win. And 1 game at a time. That is another thing that the messaging has been, is we can't look ahead. We can't think about, we just got to focus on this week and go take care of business this week. And so this week they're going to put the best players on the field that give them a chance to win this week. And then we'll talk about next week when we get there.
Absolutely. And as we saw, A.J. Allen gets hurt in Game 4, so he saves his red shirt. Teddy Prohaska gets hurt before Game 4 this year, so they're able to save his red shirt in year 2. So there's a ways to work around that 4-game. It doesn't have to happen in your freshman year to get redshirted. You can be redshirted at any time in your playing career.
And how many, some of those young defensive backs, all of them have not even played in every game.
Right.
I know a couple of them have maybe had a few snaps, but they haven't been. So you still have a couple games to work with on a lot of these young players.
Absolutely. He was asked about what makes a successful defense, particularly in the Big Ten Conference. This is our last clip from Coach Busch.
But the simplest thing for that would be gap integrity and tackling. I mean, the number one thing for us right there. It's like if you just looked at the numbers, probably I'm not trying to go backwards. Look at the numbers. Is that we've had a little bit of a failure at both like that, run and pass like that. So you always want to see one-dimensional type of football, but the ability like that to be able to tackle. These guys, like I said, they run. I think they're second in the country in plays per minute. So they're extremely fast. But don't let that confuse you with their physicality, because their running backs are downhill, hard-nosed. They are really good. And everyone runs the same way, and it is downhill tough. So Coach Allen has built the team to be in the Big Ten. And so I'm very, very impressed with them up front, with their offensive line. I'm impressed with their run game, the physicality of their running backs. I think that's a full-day job against those guys.
He weaved in a little preview of Indiana for you as well. Indiana will go lickety-split. They're the second fastest offense in the country as far as snaps per minute, and so they don't take much time between plays. That stresses you on the communication part, which he talked about earlier, that has been an issue, Jessica. There's been some guys going, we don't feel like we were getting the calls in soon enough. We weren't quite lined up right when teams were snapping the ball against us.
Yeah, and again, I know Nick Henrich was back last week, but I also wonder how much of it was that he was not on the field. And he's kind of the quarterback, and he's been a guy that lines guys up. And so I will be interested to see, because it's just hard to judge much on the game against Oklahoma, because that was not a good game. And we've heard them say all throughout this week, coaches and players, about, that was just not a good game for us. So we'll see. But I think having Nick Henrich back out there for more than just one game is definitely going to help in the communication. That's been another word we've heard a lot this week, is communication.
Communication, yeah. And hey, that whole Oklahoma week had to be a blur for that team. Your head coach gets dismissed. That's a big change of events to get ready for that. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Let's switch gears and let's talk offense. Mark Whipple met with the media today. He was asked about how have the players handled the tough start to the season.
Yeah, I like these kids. It's a great place. Nebraska people are great. I don't go out much, but a couple of neighbors still waved at me the other day, so I guess we're all right. But we got good kids, really good kids. It's just like, I've seen this thing can turn. It might turn this week, maybe the next week, but I haven't seen a lack of effort. I've seen the guys stay together. Honestly, discipline-wise, we've been I know on offense, there's one guy that I got on today, but out of the 60, 70, the guys are class schedules, all those things that way, doing all the things the right way. So, they want to win as much as anybody, and we got to play a little bit better and execute, and I got to coach better. And so I said it's great to come here in the morning and see the guys that way, and really good kids.
That backs up what you said. He likes being around this group of guys.
Yeah, and also what he said about how they came in with a great mindset. I sat down with Brian Buschini for a lengthy conversation yesterday, and he's a guy, I know he's a punter, but he's been kind of a leader for this team. He's an older guy, has a different perspective, and has been at times really good for this football team, has been a great weapon. And so he had talked about that too, about how he thought that the way that this team came and approached the bye week, but then also came back ready to go this week, was really good. So, again, going back to, they're just not done. They're not done yet. And so, let's see how this week unfolds, but I think they're ready to get back out on the field.
Bye weeks are big because you can self-scout yourself. You can go back and look and say, all right, what are teams seeing? Why are they stopping us in certain things? Mark Whipple was asked about that part of the bye week and trying to assess the performance of the offense of the first 4 games.
We have a bad taste in our mouth from last week or 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's still there. You like to win on a bye week, so it stays with you a little bit longer on a bye week, so it still has. But we went back and self-scouted, and we've done some really good things, some certain plays that have been good to us. Some other ones that had been pretty good at Pittsburgh haven't been as good. I've taken those out and done some other stuff, added a couple things that way. So it's more about the quarterback and the guys around you and how they feel on certain stuff. So getting those guys a little more comfortable.
I think that's fine to admit that you had a bad taste in your mouth after Oklahoma. Particularly the offense scored in the first drive and the last drive, but boy, in between, it was not very pretty.
Yeah, I thought it was also interesting what he said about he didn't think it was a physicality problem on some of the issues with the offensive line. It was a communication problem, which again, you got guys playing in positions as they haven't been in. So hopefully over the last couple of weeks, you get some guys comfortable in those spots as you move them around, and it just is going to take a little bit of time, and we might see some more shuffling. But I think they just were very disappointed. I think Casey was a little banged up, and so even he, had said that he probably shouldn't have. One of the sacks was on him. I know he's never one that's going to, blame anybody else, but I think there were just a lot of issues. Trey Palmer fumbling the football. I mean, there's just so many things that are just pretty uncharacteristic from some of the players on offense that I think they were not happy with how they performed, and that was not indicative of the kind of offense that Nebraska has.
Good lead into the next clip. It was about pass protection and sacks allowed. What is the coach seeing?
Yeah, I don't think, Casey ran into one. We had 4 last week, and that was all communication. It wasn't like the guy got beat physically, it was communication where we're sliding the line, and that just comes with time. It takes time, and we worked hard on it this past week.
So there you go. That kind of puts a wrap on all of that. We'll end it with this with Coach Whipple. We mentioned Bill Busch and Mickey go way back. That's not the case with Mark Whipple. He only probably met Mickey Joseph for the first time in January when they both got added to the staff and came on. So here he was asked about his relationship with now the interim head coach, Mickey Joseph.
Great. I told him he's got to move his stuff out of the locker room so we can make fun of him when he's not there. No, he's been great. He's brought energy, and he's a great person. And we've talked a lot. Him and I together on certain things that have helped me when I was the head coach, and I've seen some things, and he's incorporated. But he's being himself, and that's what I told him. Just don't try to be, your brother or Coach Osborne or something. Just be yourself, and the guys react, and they have on both sides of the ball. And so I appreciate the fact that he trusts me on some of the thoughts that way, and so we're talking all the time, and we still have some laughs. You got to keep it, no matter what. So that part's really good, and as I said, I think you'll see a change. I think it's hard to change in one week, but the time that time you have a little bit more time. I'm sure he's dealt with the players a lot more. One-on-ones that you didn't have time before the Oklahoma, the whole thing that way.
I think, I don't think Mickey will be someone that changes. I think he's going to be him because that's why players love him. And, having that conversation being able to have those conversations between coaches, head coaches, coordinators of, hey, what do you see here? Okay, well, and just that open conversation, which Mickey seems like a guy that's going to do that, and so does Coach Whipple, and certainly Bill Busch is. So I think that'll be a good dynamic between those three.
It's good to hear from those guys because, again, we haven't heard from them for a couple of weeks because of all the shuffling that's been going on. So great to hear from both of them. And again, tomorrow night, our football show, hour number 2, Bill Busch in studio for the entire hour. Can't wait to talk to him more tomorrow night. That's our practice report, which has been presented by Currency. Does your business need quick, easy, and secure financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Our callers and texters, 402-413-2400. Our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. All right, those phone lines, text lines wide open for you. Give us a call. We'll come back and take some of your thoughts, comments next.
Woodhouse Hyundai is an easy choice when you're in the market for your next SUV or sedan, like the all-new 2023 Hyundai Palisade or sporty Hyundai Sonata that boasts features you want and capability you need. With transparent pricing, flexible test drives, and a streamlined purchase process, we are proud to serve our customers. When you shop Hyundai, you'll benefit from Hyundai Owner Assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com.
There's a call on the field for a quality seed specific to where you farm. Make the right call with Prairie Valley. With local research in 8 regions throughout Nebraska, Prairie Valley performs with their locally specific hybrids and varieties while achieving the highest quality and yield. No matter where you farm in Nebraska, Prairie Valley has the seed for where you are. Find a local dealer and learn more about the seed for where you are at prairievalleyseeds.com.
Husker volleyball, jump set behind, right side swing, Whitney Lonstein, block back, great cover by Kenzie, pumps it over to the left side, push shot by Maddie Kubik, block back covered with volleyball. Outside Maddie, out of bounds, block touch, point Big Red, what a rally.
Friday, volleyball will be playing Rutgers at 6 p.m. Pre-game coverage with John Baylor and Lauren Cook West starts at 5:30 p.m. on the Huskers Radio Network. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red. Subaru loves building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The 2023 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. With 182 horsepower, you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love is out there. Find it in the Crosstrek. 182 horsepower engine available on select models. DeToe Subaru, located at 2750 Jamie Lane in Lincoln, and online at DeToeSubaru.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm Student Government President Jake Drake with Campus News. Nebraska has the most technically advanced buildings in the Big Ten, according to an annual review of universities across the country. Nebraska has also saved over $85 million over the past 17 years by making long-term investments in clean, reliable energy sources, cutting-edge automation, and collaborations across campus.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimate CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here on a Wednesday night. On our text line, Chad in Rising City said, guys, I'm assuming if Coach Joseph and his staff do well the rest of the season, they have a chance to be the coaches next year. I just think it's not helpful for us to talk about a new coach until the season is over. It has to be hard for them to listen and watch social media. Let's support them and our team at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we had just said is
perfect.
You know, let's root on this team. We heard Trev Albert say last night, we got to be patient. So let's be patient. And in the meantime, let's root on this team.
Very good. Let's go to Northeast Nebraska. Roger, you're up next here on Sports Island. Good evening.
Good evening. I just happened to watch Oklahoma and Kansas State last week, and I was impressed with Adrian Martinez, our former quarterback, that seemed to have 3 to 4 seconds to throw the ball 80% of the time. And so I'm wondering if Nebraska's football glory days depend on the lines, offense and defense. You know, worrying about recruiting the best running back in the country or the best quarterback in the country aren't going to gain you a thing if you don't block for them, or if you don't have a defense that can hold on the other end. An average back can go through a hole and make yards where an All-American back can't go through a solid line. Just my comments, and you can add to it or subtract or say I'm dumb, but I did play on the line, so.
Yep. Hey, Roger, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. No, I think it all starts up front. Coaches will always say it starts up front. Nebraska has not been good enough on the lines the last couple of years, and I think that's been a shortcoming for him.
It has, but also you have to give credit to Adrian's legs and the way he can run.
That's right.
It definitely allows for teams have to take that into account, you know, and so that also you don't see a lot of people blitzing on Adrian Martinez because he can get away from it.
Right, once he gets away. Adrian, his last 2 games at K-State is kind of his career here. He had a really tough game against Tulane. They lost. He played great against Oklahoma, and they won. We saw Adrian make those kind of plays at Nebraska a lot, but it also came with the other side of it with a lot of turnovers that he would make in games.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
happy for him, though. Glad that he was able to do some of that. Buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More of the show coming up next.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
For 46 years, our focus has been our customers at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont. Come see for yourself how easy buying your new car, truck, or SUV at Sid Dillon can be. Stop by our dealership in Fremont to order your new vehicle and shop in-stock and inbound inventory. And if you need a commercial vehicle, we're your GMC Business Elite dealer. Shop at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Time for us to check out how the weather is going to affect Saturday night's game, brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling. It is going to be gorgeous Saturday, high of 83. It'll probably be upper 70s at kickoff, maybe a little chillier toward the end of the game, but it's going to be gorgeous. What a perfect weather for a night game at Memorial Stadium. Weather report brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling. With fair prices, honest opinions, and longer warranties, they are the Omaha area's trustworthy company since 1950. To the phones we go to Omaha and Mike. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, you're talking about the great agricultural heritage of our state. And there are lots of great dairy farmers, I know. And I've had a heck of a time finding milk for me or the kids at a Husker sporting event. Am I missing something? Is it available?
I don't know that they sell it at the concession stands. I know that was part of the survey last year that they took with some things that people wanted to see, and I think milk did rate pretty high. So,
and, you know, kids should be drinking milk. I happen to love milk. Chocolate milk's one of my favorites. And why don't the dairy farmers have a concession? I understand where the milk's got to be cold and all that. It would just seem unnatural, but to me it's crazy in a state like this that you can't get milk at a Husker sporting event.
Can you get it at many other places? I don't know that I go to many pro events and see milk, though, at the concession stands. Mike, just to be fair, I appreciate the call. I just don't know that you go to a Cowboys game or a Chiefs game or a Bears game. Do they have milk? I don't know.
I'm not a milk drinker. I never have been. I like chocolate milk sometimes, but I'm not a big milk drinker, so I don't know.
But I do know that it was on the survey, and I think that they are analyzing some of that.
And I think that was something that was brought up to Trev, and he listens to everything that comes in. So
he does. Hey, our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. Wow, good hour. Still some texts I haven't got to. I'll try to get to those in hour number 2. We're going to hear from Wilhelm Breidenbach, who was injured early last season for Fred Hoiberg's Huskers. He's on the mend, getting ready to go. Looking forward to watching that team go out and practice on Friday night. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. JB's telling me the hour's over. We're back with hour 2 next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse Chevy first and experience the difference today. Whether you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV, we have you covered. Our educated sales team will guide you to the perfect vehicle with features you need to fit your lifestyle, so you can leave our lot feeling confident in your purchase. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseGM.com. Find a trusted auto partner and new roads at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, Iowa.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Wednesday, Huskers fans. This morning, Nebraska football made coordinators Mark Whipple and Bill Busch available to the media. As the Huskers' new defensive coordinator, Busch is making adjustments to improve consistency on the defensive side of the ball.
The first thing we worked on is how to get lined up fast and how to play as simple as we can. I'd love to play one defense. Everyone in the country would love to play one defense, and that's, hey, we play this and we do this, and that wraps it up for us. There's a lot more to it because there's so many situations like we talk about all the time. I use rooms in a house. I learned this from Coach Gruden. It's like, hey, first and second down, you're in the kitchen. Everything goes on in the kitchen. Third down for us, right? That's a living room. It's a little bit different type of deal like that. The attic, you don't use it much. That's goal line. There's all these different situations that come up, so we try to address things in different phases with them right there. But we are trying to do everything we can to be able to make it as simple as we can to make sure, hey, we get lined up and get our feet set and be able to go. We felt that there was some things that always can improve on communication as we scream at them all the time. And I say scream, we teach at them. The same thing in special teams is that communication breeds confidence. So if we have the right communication, we know we've made the right call. Our communication will breed confidence, and we'll build ourselves up from there.
And we'll hear from Coach Busch tomorrow night as he will join us from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on the Huskers Radio Network. And Huskers fans, Huskers women's basketball wants you to know that you are now able to build your own custom ticket package for the 2022-2023 season with the starting 5-pack on sale now. With the starting 5-pack, fans can get reserved seats for any 5 home games for just $60. Fans can select any of the Huskers' 16 home games to customize their personal ticket package. To purchase, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 800-8-BIG-RED. Again, that's 800-8-BIG-RED during business hours. In pro sports tonight, lots of games in the MLB. It is Judge Watch. The Yankees slugger Aaron Judge is chasing his own team record and the AL record for home runs. He's got 60 home runs on the season, one shy of 61, Roger Maris's number, and 2 would, of course, give him his own Yankees and American League record. He has walked once and flied out to go 0 for 1 thus far in the early going. The Yankees lead 3-0 over the Blue Jays in the top of the 4th. The Rays and Guardians are tied at 1. That's at the end of 6. The Royals and Tigers, it's the Tigers up 2-1 in the top of the 5th. In the top of the 4th, it's 2-1 Nationals, trying to spoil some of the Braves' momentum here as they are trying to win the division, the NL East, in the final couple of games here of the regular season. The Red Sox lead the Orioles 2-0 in the top of the 4th. Midway through the 4th, it's 2-0 Marlins over the Mets, who are currently battling the Braves for the top spot in the MLB. So both of those teams having some troubles tonight. The White Sox and Twins are scoreless in the top of the 2nd. The Phillies and Cubs also scoreless in the top of the 2nd, and also scoreless in the 2nd, the Cardinals and the Brewers. In a few minutes, the Diamondbacks will take on the Astros. The A's will meet the Angels at 8:38. At 8:43, games are set to get underway. It's the Dodgers and Padres, the Rangers and Mariners, the Rockies and Giants. And then the one final earlier from today in extra innings in the 10th, the Pirates topped the Reds 4-3. And in the NFL, LA Chargers star pass rusher Joey Bosa will head to IR as he'll have surgery to repair an injured groin. He'll miss a minimum of 4 games before being eligible to return. Chargers have no luck right now in terms of staying healthy. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Good pass by Kubik, outside set. Whitney Lonstein, kaboom! You can only try to slow her down. You can't stop Whitney. Boy, she's gravity's worst enemy.
Give it off to Grant. He picks his way inside the 45, bounces to the outside. 40, 35, 30. Foot race now. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Now outside Mississippi. Blocked. Kaylin Hoare. Whitney Lonstein. That's a combined 13 feet of humanity. We're tied at 19 in Lincoln.
Snap back to Casey. Throws downfield looking for Trey Palmer. He goes up, and did he hang on at the 37-yard line? He did. What a grab by Trey Palmer.
Beautiful pass, back set. Lindsey Krause, kaboom! 19-18, Big Red.
Chancellor Brewington in the game. The block, they fake the handoff. Casey rolls out, flips it out in the flat. Brewington makes a catch. He's going to go down to the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska. Going to roll out, flip the chance for Brewington, and he scores. It's his second career Husker touchdown.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Boy, the great milk debate is on. Chat room, text, people sounding off on milk at the stadium from our last caller of last hour. Tim in Minnesota says, I don't know about milk, though I wouldn't mind seeing it, especially chocolate. Next time I'm in Lincoln for Husker event, I am a big aficionado of ice cream, and I do recall enjoying a frozen malt or two at the Bob Devaney Sports Center in years past. Absolutely. Frozen malts. I have done that at athletic events.
Hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate at cold football games or something, yeah.
I know that's not milk, but...
Got maybe a little dairy in it.
Yeah.
Crypto says, I like Mike the caller, but I do not like milk.
I'm kind of with Crypto. I like Mike the Caller, but I just have never been a fan of milk. I mean, even when I was a little kid, I never drank milk, so I'm nothing against it. I mean,
No.
I have family that also have dairy cattle and stuff, but it's just not, I don't like dairy, or I don't like milk. I like yogurt.
Yeah, well, that's kind of that.
Yeah.
Corey North Platte says no one is going to buy milk at a football game. So everybody's kind of got a little
Mike
opinion
is.
on that. So, yeah. So, and hey, Midwest Dairy, they're great friends of
Yeah,
ours.
they sponsor my podcast with the performance podcast that we've launched, and they have the last couple of years. They're great sponsors and great partners of Husker Athletics. So, yeah, we are fans of dairy around here.
So, Mike, there you go. You started up a little bit, bringing that up the last hour. Appreciate that. Let's take a call here before we jump into Wilhelm Breidenbach. John in Lincoln's up next on the program. Good evening, John.
Hi, when I called in and talked to the athletic director last night, I mentioned getting student participation to build the fan base up later on in years to come. And when I'm almost 80, and when I started going to games, students made up about 50%, and I would want to clarify there was the girls' knot hole and the boys' knot hole, and the rest was university students. And proportionately, the amount of tickets available for students aren't there. I know my grandkids couldn't get tickets this year, and I just wondered, would they open up maybe double the proportion of seats for the students, or what do you think about that?
Well, John, I don't know that there is that much more demand than what they had. I think that they hold some back for the freshman class, and they went fairly quick this year, but I don't know that there was a lot of people that didn't get them that couldn't. I feel bad that your grandson didn't, but I don't know that there's a huge demand above what they give.
Well, I'm not going this year, so I'm giving my 2 tickets away to the kids.
Well, that's
so
good.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
You
Have
bet.
a good evening.
Well, and Travis said that that's a big emphasis when, the stadium is, when they're talking about redoing the stadium is, the student section, it starts with them, and that's in every sport. I mean, we heard Coach Cook talking about the importance of the student section,
Right.
and they bring the energy, and they start the chants and all of that. Most places that have a place or have a stadium or an arena that is impossible or hard to walk out of with a win, it's a lot of times because of the student section, how they start things. And so I know that's really important to Trev Alberts and this administration, this athletics department. So I don't know what the plans are moving forward with the student section, but maybe a chance to have more seats for them. I don't know.
I just don't know if there's a demand, and I'll tell you, a lot of frustration from a lot of ticket holders when they look in that southeast corner and the top 8 rows, which is the student section, are empty. And that's people going, I'd have bought that ticket if I knew it was open. So, John, I hear you. I don't think there's a lot of students that aren't getting tickets to football games.
Has the student section been empty? Was it last year, too, that those 8 rows are empty?
It depends on the game.
Okay.
And depends, but yeah, there were some games that they just aren't there. And particularly when we get deeper into the season and that type of thing. And that's been that way for the 15 years I've been here as well. But I don't think there's a large swath of students that aren't getting tickets. In fact, I think a lot of them trade tickets to each other. I'm not going Saturday. You want my ticket here? I think if you want a ticket bad enough, you can find them with your buddies or your pals doing that type of thing. All right, we need to get to Wilhelm, but let's talk to Dave in Lincoln next. Good evening, Dave.
Yes, Greg. My name's Dave. I know you've been through this before, but the difference between TV and your call is getting ridiculous. I love to watch the game on TV and listen to you guys on the radio, but there's 6 seconds difference. You're ahead of the TV. Is there anything you can do about that?
Well, it's up to our affiliates to do that. Jessica, there's an app, isn't there, that you can download that can help do some of that?
Thought I had found this. I need to look that up again and see. But yeah, I know that we have some listeners that have figured out ways to sync. But when you're ahead, that's what makes it tough. Because if you're behind it, the TV, you can pause it and let you catch up. So the radio being ahead, I'll look into it.
Dave,
and see.
You're in Lincoln. Are you in Lincoln?
Yes, sir.
Do you have satellite or cable?
I have cable.
Well, I believe 1400, the RA.
That's what I listen to.
I think that at least for a long time they would match up the spectrum signal with their broadcast. So I'm assuming they're still doing that. Maybe they're not. Maybe call KLIN and ask them if they're still providing that service, because they used to even run a promo on their station about that they did that, so that you could watch the game and listen to our call at the same time. So I would suggest.
I watch the game on TV and listen to you. I have Spectrum cable.
Yep.
And you run 6 seconds ahead, and then when they do a replay, you're going 2 plays ahead, and it's getting ridiculous, and I have to make a decision. I either turn you guys off and watch TV, or one way or the other.
One other suggestion.
Here's what gets me. I can watch a pro team, and they're right on. I can listen to a high school game with radio, and it's right on. So I just don't understand why college. And I understand it's the college, and by the time it gets through the satellite and gets to the TV, there's a difference between you and it's just wondering if you guys could delay your call.
Well, we can't, and I appreciate the call, Dave. One thing, we can't do that because the people who are listening to us in the stadium, that would be really awkward for them if we did that. For the 85,000 that are here in the stadium, and quite a few of them do listen to us here. But also you could try pulling it up on Huskers.com. That is a little bit more delayed than what we send to our affiliates. So's the Huskers app. If you want to pull it up on your phone, it's delayed more than what the real signal is. But I would also call, and I'll try to call KLIN tomorrow and see if they're still doing that or not, and I'll make that announcement on the air. But I do know, and I do appreciate everybody that tries to do that. We love having everybody come along and listen to us as well. All right. Basketball practice started this week for the Husker men and women. A chance to talk to some of the players here in the last couple of days, including Wilhelm Breidenbach.
Yes, was glad to get to chat with him. He's back healthy, feeling good. So here is Wilhelm. All right, well, how you feeling?
I'm good. Just just on the way back, so I'm feeling good.
What has the rehab process been like? I mean, how close do you feel to being back to 100%?
I think I'm back to 100%. It's been a long rehab, a lot of hard work, off days, like up and down days, but I think it's been good, and I'm fully back. So
you were contributing a lot for this team before you had got injured. What did you take away from those first few games that you could maybe apply moving into this season?
Just the pace of the game, I'd say. Obviously, guys are bigger, guys are better all around, so just kind of be smarter, learn to slow the game down, and then obviously the pace is a lot faster.
How frustrating was it for you, though, when you went down? And, I know you're a big-time competitor. This team, all of them said if there's one guy they want to go to battle with, so I know you wanted to be out there with your teammates. So how frustrating was it initially when you went down?
It was really frustrating, especially just coming off a more minor injury during the summer. It was really frustrating, and then just having to watch on the side and not really be able to contribute was definitely frustrating.
That being said, how much did you take away that perspective of sitting on the sideline and seeing a different, I guess, view of the game?
I'd say it was pretty valuable, just kind of seeing things with a bird's eye view. You don't really think about certain things when you're actually playing, so just getting to watch the games, I'd say I learned a lot.
So once you got through the rehab process and you got released, what were some of the things in your game that you wanted to focus on before going into this season?
I'd say just getting my jump shot consistent. Just I would lean on one leg more than the other, so just kind of mechanical things like that, and then obviously be a better finisher on the rim, better free throw shooter. So
I know that you're a guy, you're not afraid to get in there and rebound and get physical inside, but then also, providing the matchup problem with shooting from the outside, all the different things that you bring to a team. How did you get to where you could do that, where you could bring different things to a team?
I'd say just hard work. Like if I wanted to do something, I'd go work on it until I could do it. So that's pretty much all it comes down to for me.
What about just being the team guy, whatever they need from you? Where does that come from?
I just like to win, to be honest. Like winning is really all that matters to me. Like personal stuff like that comes second to winning for me. So I'll do whatever we need.
So how have you liked the way that this team has come together through summer workouts and then the first few days of practice?
I mean, over summer we've definitely come together. I'd say a good amount. Everybody's very close. Everybody's good friends. So we just got to keep that rolling through these first practices.
What's it like adding, transfer portal guys from all over, bringing a team together, meshing, getting that chemistry going? How do you guys go about that?
I mean, it's pretty easy when you're surrounded by good people. They're all good people, so that makes it a lot easier to connect with them. So it really hasn't been that much of an issue.
Give us a name. I know there's a lot of players that fans are going to be excited about, but for you personally, that you've been really impressed with so far, a new name that's been added to this roster.
I think obviously everybody knows Sam Griesel, but Emmanuel, he's definitely been fun to play with this summer. So,
what is it about those two guys of what they've brought?
They're just leaders. Like they'll do. They're the same. They'll do what they need to do to win. They're exciting players to watch. They're fundamental, but they can get up and dunk it, or they can step out for outside shots. So they're pretty fun to play with.
What about the new coaches too that have been brought in?
I like all of them. They all kind of add their own respective piece to the program. So yeah, they've been great.
I know you weren't on the court, but there's a lot of guys that played really good basketball at the end of last season and that competed with the best teams in the Big Ten. How much motivation has that given this team, seeing that you guys could go compete with some of those teams?
I'd say it's given us motivation, especially the guys who were here last year, just seeing what we can do. We can go on a little run like that when we play basketball the right way. So, I mean, seeing those guys, even if they're not here, it was pretty inspiring for me, I could say. Just not giving up, kind of playing with everything they've got and going on that run was definitely pretty inspiring for me.
Okay, and then opening night coming up on Friday. How excited are you guys to get in front of Husker Nation again?
I can say I'm definitely excited to finally put a uniform back on and go play in PBA in front of some people. So I know everybody's excited, some guys first time, so it'll definitely be fun.
How important is that support for you guys to help protect the home court?
I'd say it's very important. I mean, having that atmosphere is incredibly important, and we had it last year for some games, and it definitely helps a lot. So as long as people are coming and giving energy, we'll match it, I guess.
Take me through just the process of an off season and what the goals are to accomplish for a team and for Nebraska basketball specifically, so that you guys can be ready to go. You have a tough non-conference and then getting into the most brutal conference there is in college basketball. How do you guys go about attacking what you need to attack here in the preseason?
I'd say it's just consistency. We all know what we need to work on. The coaches know what we need to work on. They tell us, so it's just consistency and constantly striving to match what they want, the goals they want us to have. So it's just all about consistency.
And for you personally, I know you're not a personal accolades guy, but do you set personal goals for yourself?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it's important for everybody to set personal goals. So I do have a few.
And what do you hope to bring now that you're healthy and you got a taste of it last year earlier on? What do you hope to bring to this team this season?
I'd say just energy and hustle. Do whatever I need to do to win, whatever that looks like. I'm willing to do it. So.
Did you realize at the time how much you were liked by Husker fans? Boy, you were getting some loud cheers there.
Yeah, I mean it's certainly exciting having that kind of support and seeing people around town, talking to me. I mean it's awesome. I really appreciate all that support I get.
It's got to be pretty motivating to go out there and know that you have that kind of crowd behind you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's awesome just seeing people, getting to talk to people who come to the games. They're excited to watch it. I mean, it's awesome, and we genuinely appreciate it. So,
thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
He's kind of like an old school throwback. He's wearing the goggles. Why are players that wear goggles so popular?
I love it. Love it. Hope he can stay healthy because he'll help this team.
Yeah, he'd be a big weapon for this team just because he's versatile and can stretch the floor. It's always so important to have one of those guys. So
very cool. Hey, Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines. Marked, it's free, it's easy, it's the law. We're back with the Blitz coming up next.
I'm University of Nebraska-Lincoln student Hannah Pham with Campus News. Students from Nebraska's Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts helped create visual effects for the Star Wars TV series Obi-Wan Kenobi. This opportunity came from a 3-month internship with Lola VFX, a visual effects firm in Los Angeles. This internship transitioned to employment, with Huskers also creating effects for the superhero movie Thor: Love and Thunder.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Woodhouse Hyundai is an easy choice when you're in the market for your next SUV or sedan, like the all-new 2023 Hyundai Palisade or sporty Hyundai Sonata that boasts features you want and capability you need. With transparent pricing, flexible test drives, and a streamlined purchase process, we are proud to serve our customers. When you shop Hyundai, you'll benefit from Hyundai Owner Assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. Some restrictions apply.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting-edge yet common-sense agronomy, the shake-em-up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Another Wednesday, another big college football Saturday coming up. Let's take a tour around the league with the Blitz.
Big Ten Blitz. Iowa.
Here to talk about the Hawkeyes, Scott Docterman of The Athletic. Iowa coming off of a road win at Rutgers 27-10. Kind of the same Iowa formula, right? Scott scores some touchdowns on defense and just do enough on offense to win a game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like get the offense off the field so the defense can score. That's kind of been the formula that's worked for them the last few years. But, this is the first time they've scored touchdowns on defense this year, and they scored 2. It just shows you that even though they lost some good pieces on the defensive secondary, that they've got some other holdovers and the newcomers that have come to play. So the defense is every bit as potent as it was last year. The offense took some steps forward, baby steps. They're not necessarily a good unit, but they didn't turn the ball over. They did have a scoring drive, and they didn't embarrass themselves. So I think overall it was a pretty good performance for Iowa at this stage of the season.
Is Petrus locked in as the one in your eyes, or is that still just going to be a moving target as the year moves on?
I think he is. I mean, I thought they would have moved on from him after, in halftime of the opener or certainly the second game, but Kirk Ferentz really still thinks that he's the guy. And as they've been able to get more pieces in, they only had one scholarship receiver available in the first 2 games. It was hard for them they couldn't even run a 3 wide receiver set. So I think as he's been able to get a little bit more comfortable, he's showing probably why he's number one. I'm not suggesting that he's going to be an all Big Ten quarterback, but he at least shows that he can move the trains on time.
All right, a lot of eyes of the nation on this one this week. Michigan comes to town. Talk about this matchup. What stands out to you as you analyze this?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because you got the nation's top scoring defense against the nation's top scoring offense, and I kind of think it's going to be probably closer in the defensive category. I can't see Michigan winning 42-3 again like it did in Indianapolis last December. But Iowa's offense is going to have to do something in this game, and that could be 2 scoring drives, that could be 3, but it has to do something in order to make this a competitive game. Otherwise, it's probably like laying on the wrestling mat for 7 minutes and losing 2-0. That's the way it could end up. But I think, the other thing is Michigan hasn't been on a road environment, and Kinnick Stadium is notorious for how it treats top 5 competition. They're 5-1 against top 5 opponents since 2008, and the only loss was on the last play of the game. So Michigan hasn't won in Iowa City since 2005. So there's a lot of factors here that I think Iowa's going to be in this game, and they still remember December. That was an awfully rough loss, and there was a flea flicker late in the game when it was 35-3. So I think there's some deep memories around here.
Scott, are the Hawkeyes preparing to see 2 quarterbacks? I mean, it's been a rotating thing up in Ann Arbor. Are they prepared for both, do you think?
No, I mean, McNamara is now kind of on the sidelines. He's been hurt a few weeks, so I don't think he'll come back. So I think it's just going to be largely J.J. McCarthy. And, he's been pretty good. He's completed 80% of his passes and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. But, you also got to consider the competition. Last week they played Maryland, and it was a 7-point game. And Maryland's a decent team, no question. I think they're probably a bowl team, but that's that is a significant step up. And then coming to Iowa, that's a defense that they haven't seen yet and may not see all year.
It's a rematch of last year's title game. Iowa hosting the Wolverines, 11 o'clock Central on Big Fox. Scott Docterman of The Athletic. We appreciate it. Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Greg.
Big Ten Blitz. Purdue.
Here to talk about the Boilermakers, Mike Carmen of the Journal-Courier. Purdue coming off of a 28-26 win over Florida Atlantic last weekend. And, man, I'm not sure FAU can get out of town this weekend for a game if they were trying to come to West Lafayette. The story, though, is no Aiden O'Connell. Mike, what's the latest with the quarterback for the Boilers?
Well, he was in full pads for Tuesday's practice, but I can't tell you for sure how much participation he did. So, I would say things are probably trending in the direction of at least him giving it a try this week, and we may not know anything until Saturday morning when they go through warm-ups, whether he'll get the start or Austin Burton will get the start. But, I would it's probably a good chance we'll see him on Saturday, but how he throws, how he plays, that's probably going to be the biggest question mark right now.
Can you get a gauge, Mike, of the confidence level of this team right now? They've had the two heartbreaking losses and then the narrow escape last week. Where do you think they are in the headspace?
That's an excellent question because the three games that they played that have gone down to the wire. They've lost two of them. They won last week by making a play at the end. They'll tell you they're in a good spot. They'll tell you that, they're still confident and stuff, but, you go by actions. And if they get another close game Saturday or another time this season, how are they going to react? How will things be different for them? And can they make the play that needs to be made or make the stop and all those things that come together? So, I think that's a hard question to answer right now because I don't think we always get truthful answers when we ask those questions of the players and the coach. They're always going to tell you they're confident and they're in a good spot. I will say this. I think the schedule that they've played, minus Indiana State, has put them in a position that if they're in another fourth quarter game, they've been there, they've done that, and it's a matter of if they can capitalize on the experiences that they've had to potentially pull out a win.
Okay, this week it's back on the road at Minnesota. Some people are ready to anoint them as the West champions. They looked really good last week, just hammered Michigan State. How high are you on the Gophers, and size this matchup up for us?
Well, they're definitely the flavor of the week in the Big Ten West, and everybody does want to anoint them the champion in early October. And they've, based on what they've done, is very impressive, but based on who they've done it against before last week against Michigan State, still brings a lot of questions. And what they did to go on the road at a Big Ten school like Michigan State and basically annihilate them in front of their home fans is really, it's a good sign for Minnesota. But again, they haven't faced a lot of adversity this year. They haven't been in a tight game. They haven't been in a situation where they have to make a play, they have to make a third down, and if Purdue can push them to that point, we'll see how they react. They got plenty of experience across the board. They have a 6-year quarterback in Tanner Morgan. They've got a veteran running back. They lost their top receiver, but they still have pretty good depth there. So, Minnesota, based on what they've done and what's coming up on the schedule, they would be the favorite right now, but. There's still a lot of landmines in the Big Ten you got to get through, and, this is going to be one of them on Saturday.
Purdue at Minnesota, 11 o'clock Central on ESPN2. Mike Carmen of the Journal-Courier. Mike, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Big Ten Blitz. Illinois.
Here to talk about the Illini, Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Illinois coming off of a 31-0 trouncing of Chattanooga last week. Really good start to the year. I got to imagine there's a lot of confidence around the program right now, Steve.
I think that's right, Greg. There's a lot of folks that think Illinois should be 4-0 instead of 3-1, and I'm one of them. They've let the Indiana game in week 1 get away. Actually, it was week 1. Illinois played week 0. But they let that one get away late and gave up a touchdown with 23 seconds to go to the Hoosiers. So they went on to proceed to win all 3 of the non-conference games. So they stand 3-1, going to Madison as about a touchdown underdog against the Badgers.
Boy, they've been running the football so well, Steve, and usually teams that can establish the run game are tough to beat. That's been a big strength, hasn't it?
It has. Chase Brown is leading the country in rushing still. He's got 604 yards and averaging 151 a contest. Both those categories lead the nation in rushing, and they've been running the ball very well. They really haven't had anybody step up behind Chase, but they haven't needed that yet. But it wouldn't hurt to go. In the one game he had 36 carries. You don't need that very often from your number one guy. But they have been running the ball well, and they've done a pretty good job of stopping the run as well. They're fourth in the Big Ten in that category.
Well, this week it's a big one up at Camp Randall against Wisconsin. Tell me your thoughts on this one. What do you think of this matchup?
Well, a lot of the talk outside of the football building is about Brett Bielema making a return to Madison. He's not talking so much about it. The fact is he coached there and was very successful there, led them to 3 Big Ten titles, played them last year in Champaign, first time he's played against Wisconsin, and the Badgers won 24-0. So he's kind of got a rematch tour going. They had a rematch with Virginia. They won that one. So this is number 2 in their rematch, and the rest are Big Ten games, of course, down the stretch. And it'll be different for him, I think, going to Camp Randall as the visitor, but he's trying to focus on the football game as well. And Wisconsin, they got hammered pretty well in Columbus, 52-21 last week. And both these teams come in 0-1 in the Big Ten, and obviously neither one wants to be 0-2 in the Big Ten West.
Formula for the Illini would be what? Try to get that running game going and try to slow down a really good back in Braylon Allen, I would guess.
Those are 2 things. I think another maybe even bigger item is protect Tommy DeVito, the quarterback, and don't let that big defensive line and linebackers from Wisconsin get to him. They've done a pretty good job on that. DeVito's passed for 951 yards and 9 touchdowns so far, and he's completing 69%. But nobody's really put pressure on him, and I'm not sure if that's what that speaks of about the offensive line, whether they're doing a good job or whether they were the competition was just not as good in some of those 3 wins. But I think that'll be a key, is keeping Tommy DeVito clean, and because they're going to try to stop Chase Brown and make DeVito go to the air.
Tough place to play. Steve, how long has it been since Illinois has had success at Camp Randall?
2002.
Wow.
20 years ago. It was a 37-20 game. Quarterback by the name of John Butcher transferred to Illinois from Iowa back in those times, had 4 touchdown passes in that. They've lost 8 straight at Camp Randall, and they've lost 11 of 12 to Wisconsin. And surprisingly, the all-time series is only about 6 games different now. But Illinois had dominated Wisconsin for years until Barry Alvarez got it going, and then they've had trouble over the last decade and a half.
I am looking forward to this one. Illinois at Wisconsin, 11 o'clock Central on BTN. Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Steve, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Always my pleasure, Greg. Thank you.
Big Ten Blitz.
Steve and all of our contributors appear with us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, phone lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. You can also text us a comment, a question if you'd rather use that form of communication as well. Jessica will rejoin me next.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Today's play of the day comes from Nebraska. We pick it up with the local sports announcer at a Nebraska lottery retailer.
Dave enters the store. He makes a move to the checkout counter. Looks like he's going to pass. Yes, he's passing the clerk a few dollars. The clerk takes the handoff and spins around. It looks like he's placed the scratch tickets on the counter, and now Dave has them in his hand. It's the old Scratch-a-rooski. He scratches left. He scratches right. Oh, my! He's done it! Dave has scored a bundle of cash.
Play is good. Go play. Odds vary by game.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Every single day, Central Valley Ag works with our farmers to feed the globe. When you incorporate value-added grains into your operation, you add more dollars and more value to every acre. When you add the MyCVA app, you see just how much more value with every digital scale ticket. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how you can get up to a $5,000 signing bonus with a value-added grain contract at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Husker volleyball, jump set behind, right side swing, Whitney Lonstein, block back, great cover by Kenzie, pumps it over to the left side, push shot by Maddie Kubik, block back covered with volleyball. Outside Maddie, out of bounds, block touch, point Big Red, what a rally.
Friday, volleyball will be playing Rutgers at 6 p.m. Pre-game coverage with John Baylor and Lauren Cook West starts at 5:30 p.m. on the Huskers Radio Network. Tune into your local affiliate or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
I'm so glad we called SOS. Our AC is the coldest.
I'm always the coldest.
SOS to the rescue.
Hey, this is Dakota Crawford, wide receiver from Louisiana, now playing in Lincoln. When your AC isn't the coldest, you call SOS Heating and Cooling. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question. Jeremy in Texas on our text line said, Greg, as a media member, was there anything alarming that you noticed as far as prep or lack of prep, or did everything look like it was on the right track? No, Jeremy, nothing really. There was no huge red flag of why the Huskers have not won the last couple of years. And there was a lot of frustration, particularly last season, with every close loss that this team had. But I don't think there was one thing you're like, man, if they just got that fixed. Because remember, on those games a year ago, it was always something different. It was a poor punt or a turnover here or a huge penalty there. And so was it a lack of attention to detail in certain areas? Maybe, but that's not a huge red flag that stands out to you. And I know that's what's so puzzling. And that's why you've heard so many people in the last couple of weeks talk about there's just mass chaos and all this stuff. I can tell you that's not true. And the play on the field would tell you that wasn't true either. If there was mass chaos and total disorganization and all that, Nebraska would have been getting beat up pretty much week after week. And that just wasn't the case. I mean, all those close losses, it was a play here or a play there. Something was off. I'm not trying to say everything was perfect because it wasn't. We weren't winning. But there wasn't a huge thing that you're going, man, they are totally messing this up here or messing that up there. Because if there was, and I've been around programs, I'm long enough to know that if you're around really bad programs, it's just complete implosion week after week after week. And that wasn't the case with Husker football the last couple of years. There was a lack of good luck, but you have to make your own luck sometimes, and Nebraska didn't do that. So to answer your long answer to your question, Jeremy, is no, there wasn't a huge red flag. Something was off because you don't lose all those close games if you're doing everything right, and they weren't. But what exactly it was, I don't know, and I wasn't on the inner circle all the time to see what that might be. I think that people have some theories, but it does – I am stinged when I hear people say that it just was total chaos and confusion and all this. That wasn't accurate. That was not the case with the Husker football team as I viewed it for the last couple of years. Sorry it didn't work, and it didn't. And that's why we're at where we're at now. And Mickey Joseph now gets a couple of months to see if he can put a stamp on this thing. And if not, you put your trust in Trev Alberts that he goes out and makes the right call with this program moving forward. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We still have time if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text, 402-413-2400. We'll slip our final break in and wrap up tonight's show next.
Husker fans, join us in celebrating excellence in women's athletics. Meet student athletes and alumni from every Nebraska women's program and commemorate the 50th anniversary of Title IX at the More is Possible Rally on Saturday, October 8th at Bolin Stadium. This event will begin at 10:30 a.m. and is free for all ages. Register today at huskers.com/Title IX.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See Agent Joe Methy in Kearney, Jackie Rowan in Lexington, or Megan Fales in Cozad today.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, That's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe back with you for the final few minutes. Jessica took off, had a project she needed to work on, so she will be back with us tomorrow night on the program. And again, tomorrow night, for a programming note, it's our football show for the week. Bill Busch, the newly named defensive coordinator, will be with us for the entire hour, so get your comments, questions ready for that tomorrow night. He is always entertaining to listen to and can't wait to chat a lot of football with Bill coming up tomorrow night on the program. Time to see what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. Husker soccer coming off a 1-0 win at Michigan on Sunday. Back on the road tomorrow night at Purdue. Take on the Boilermakers. That match actually will be on BTN, so Big Ten Network will have the broadcast of that tomorrow night, so looking forward to that. Husker volleyball headed back east for matches at Rutgers Friday at 6, 5:30 pregame coverage with JB and Lauren. And then noon on Sunday, they'll travel down the coast to Maryland to take on the Terps. So a couple of road matches. And then next week they go to the Michigan schools. They'll play Sparty Thursday and then a Saturday match with Michigan. So 4 straight on the road for John Cook's squad as they continue the travels throughout out the Big Ten race. Husker football will be in action after the bye week Saturday, 6:30 kickoff against the Indiana Hoosiers. It'll be homecoming game for the Big Red. Pre-game coverage with Husker Game Day begins at 2:30 on Saturday afternoon. That is what is on tap, presented by Bud Light. 402-413-2400, the number to be a part of the program. Sam in Omaha says, is Judge going to hit 61? He's been getting walked way too much. He's been stuck on 60 for about a week. They got the game on in here. He has not had a home run tonight, trying to tie the American League record for home runs in a season at 61. The National League one, obviously, Barry Bonds is way over that. But, yeah, he has been walked a bunch by teams coming down the stretch of the season. There's about a week left in the baseball season, and then next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend when the playoffs get going for Major League Baseball. Andrew and I were talking during the break about what a great sports month October is. You have playoff baseball. You have huge matchups in college football and the NFL. The NHL and NBA both start. You have college basketball practices underway. It is and the weather's great too. That's the other thing. Usually you have really good weather, like days like today where it's 73 degrees and you just love being outside. So love the month of October, which gets going on Saturday. All right, tomorrow night we will have Mickey Joseph. We'll have a quick press gathering tomorrow after practice. We'll play clips of that. We got picks. We got our Big Ten picks tomorrow night. See how everybody did last week. I had maybe my worst week ever picking games. So we'll have a review of that and pick our games for the upcoming weekend tomorrow night on the program. And then Bill Busch will be here in the second hour for our Nebraska football show. I did hear from our KLIN spokesperson who said that they no longer try to match up the broadcast with Spectrum. So for our caller earlier in the hour, they said there are just too many sources. People have Hulu, people have cut cable. So he just said there was too many different ones, so we just stopped doing it all together. Hey, if the Huskers return to first and second half kickoff, you can be a winner of $54,000 from Woodhouse. Go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to enter. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Here's to the locals, raised right here in the Western Corn Belt. The strong ones. We help them grow stronger, making world-class genetics research and technology local. The cutting edge yet common sense agronomy, the shake 'em up yields. Because we're born and raised here too, and we'll keep raising the bar to ensure you only get the best at Hogemeyer. Raised local, raised right here. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers.